Feds say plot was bigger than kidnapping Governor Whitmer. It was civil war attempt. Oh, well, in that case we need to make an example of these idiots, charge them with sedition, and send them to trial. I believe that's called sedition, which means there are way more of them out there. The Wolverine Watchmen militia group didn't just plot to kidnap Gov. Gretchen Whitmer, but they were on a mission to attack the state capitol and target police officers at their homes as part of a broader mission to instigate a civil war. We finally have our answer to who watches the Watchmen, and it's this group of idiots, who apparently watched Watchmen a few too many times. Edit, also getting the standoff at Sparrow Creek vibes from this. According to federal court records, the group hoped to carry out this mission before the November 3 election and try Whitmer for treason. These people are fucking stupid, no duh. Crazies who think treason is simply not doing what they want. Without knowing the exact details of the plot, these morons could easily have violated multiple treason, sedition, and subversive activity laws. Asterisk 18 U.S. Code 2383. Rebellion or insurrection. Asterisk 18 U.S. Code 2384. Seditious conspiracy. Asterisk 18 U.S. Code 2385. Advocating overthrow of government. Asterisk 18 U.S. Code 2386. Registration of certain organizations, if their militia wasn't registered. I believe it's been 25 years since the last seditious conspiracy conviction. Also, this is Michigan's second case of sedition in the past 10 years. The previous one was dismissed by the judge in 2010 though. And remember, this is what sedition and insurrection looks like. Not the bullshit arguments that Barr is making to try and charge protesters with those crimes. Edit, reading through the criminal complaint supplied to the court is pretty nuts. They wanted to kidnap the governor and take her to Wisconsin to conduct a trial. Also, the FBI had an insider in the group who was uncomfortable with the whole thing and she supplied a ton of information, including videos, calls, and chats, to investigators. The group was paranoid about law enforcement finding out, so they used encrypted chats and even switched platforms, but because of the insider the FBI maintained the ability to consensually monitor the chat. It's so much evidence from a single person, I would be willing to bet any defense is going to focus on how the evidence was obtained from that person. It's treason then. But seriously, it's treason. But they were on a mission to attack the state capitol and target police officers at their homes as part of a broader mission to instigate a civil war. I guess blue lives don't matter after all. Massive credit to the feds for catching and acting in this. I really hope the FBI are at the top of their game, especially for the next few months. Because this probably isn't the first such plot, and surely won't be the last. There are a lot of brainwashed, deranged, violent people out there who have been lapping up the Trump/Cannon bullshit. Edit, or just plain old anarchists. Either way, there are too many psychos out there trying to fuck shit up. And I'm glad the feds are apparently acting to stop them. Deleted. Did they not get the standby memo? Liberate Michigan. Donald J. Trump, 11:22 a.m. April 17, 2020. This group is called the Wolverine Watchmen and they are right-wing white supremacists who vocally support Trump and Cannon. Trump and his supporters are the biggest terroristic threat to the United States of America and they'll be written the history books as such. 25th Amendment now. These idiots were incited. There are entities in this country that need to be held to the fire, there needs to be a reckoning, otherwise it will only get worse. They are emboldened. Facebook allows this violent discourse. Fox and right-wing media cheer it every day, all day. Right-wing politicians and other figures, with access to the bullhorn and the bully pulpit, are repeatedly failing to disavow, and by that inference condoning, this behavior. Hey Bill Barr, this is what sedition looks like. This is just the beginning, these hate groups will pop up everywhere for the next few months. Trump has the crazies are whipped up into a frenzy. All because they didn't want to stay inside and pay COD and eat Doritos all day. And if you could look at their media sources, the radio, TV, and internet they consume, I'm sure you would be completely bewildered as to where they got these political extremist views. Surely all the hate, fear, and vitriol being spewed at them had no influence. /s. Doesn't absolve their culpability at all, but these guys are a symptom, not the underlying problem. I've been saying this for a while, but Republican strategy makes a lot more sense once you realize that they see the last 40 years as a cold civil war. Edit. Specific examples, although I love that my phone suggested praise before examples. Cycle of tit-for-tat retaliation, with no actual changes in power. It feels like an almost absurd spy vs spy caper. Or like a war of attrition or trench warfare, so much fuss over so little ground actually gained. Proxy wars. We call those swing states here in America. Each side, honestly and truly, believes the other presents an existential threat. Yet when people interact with each other, we're all basically alike. Mark my words. This won't be the last. The Republican Party has been sheltering, protecting, insulating, and minimizing the threats around these guys for decades. These guys have been prepping for this for decades. It's looking like it's gonna be go time real soon. It won't be a civil war. It's too unbalanced, too asymmetrical. It's gonna be a redneck, anti-urban IRA, street violence, random shootings, lots of car and truck ramming attacks, and some bombings. Neo-Confederate Al-Qaeda is about to formally announce their presence, probably before January 20th. Hold on to your butts. Domestic terrorism. What sucks is these fucks will still be around if/when Trump loses. They might even be more dangerous then. When you see their picture they look exactly how you think they would. This might get lost in the comments, but I used to be friends in high school with one of the people who got caught, Joey Morrison. It really puts in perspective on how the choices you make define who you are in ways you don't expect. I was always the good one in our friend group, which is why he became a dick and outed me, and basically because a bully, because I eat out on stupid stuff he wanted to do. Be careful who you associate yourself with, because you never know what they are capable of. It's sad to see someone who you were friends with go down this path, but not surprised to see Joey on national news. Call them terrorists. Both sides. This is about the clearest attempt to commit treasonous and seditious domestic terror I can recall in years. Throw the fucking book at these fools, even if it means charging them with treason against the United States, which could carry the death penalty. I hope the FBI finds every single one of the fuckers in their circles and puts them in cuffs. Just disgusted reading this story? Just disgusted? Interesting how cops welcome and help these heavily armed militia dudes who show up in public spaces. A white domestic terrorist attaches a $1 blue line flag to their militia costume, and cops will foolishly think that the cop killer standing next to them is their buddy. The Wolverine Watchman militia group didn't just plot to kidnap Gov. Gretchen Whitmer, but they were on a mission to attack the state capitol and target police officers at their homes as part of a broader mission to instigate a civil war. The suspects called on other members to identify the home addresses of law enforcement officers in order to target them, made threats of violence to instigate a civil war leading to societal collapse, and engaged in the planning and training for an operation to attack the state capitol building and kidnap government officials, including Whitmer.